Welcome everyone to today's movies podcast. I hope you're fine wherever you are watching this movies podcast from. You're welcome to my Blockbuster TV, the home of all your movies reactions and movie review. So guys, for today's movies content, I'm gonna walk you through this movie called The EscoBank. This movie is actually about the hidden treasure of Escobar after he died. There was a bloody search for this treasure. So in this content, I'm going to talk about this movie. I'll give you the detailed breakdown about this movie, though it's a bit complicated, a lot of secrecy, but I'll give you a total explanation about it. Then after which I'll give you the lessons which I got from it, and finally I'll also give you the movie rating as well. So that will be it for this movie's content, and I can't wait to take you through this gradually. So if you are watching, please do subscribe, like, comment, and share, and also drop in the comment section anything on your mind you want to tell us, and I'll be so pleased to get back to you. So guys, watch this to the end of it so that you can get every detail about this content. So let me take you through this right now. Let's go. According to this movie, Pablo Escobar, a notorious leader of the Medellin cartel that focused its activities on heavy drug trafficking, human trafficking, and forced labor, he hired a man named Commander Alec Rose, once an elite trusted soldier from the Israel unit, but he switched sides in working for this notorious drug lord. Alec was heavily paid to train civilians to become Baron soldiers for Escobar. It was stated that when Escobar was young, he had a very close relationship with the villagers in San Pendido and they trusted him, though over the years he became a multi-millionaire criminal. Then in 1992, when Escobar had problems with the Interpol, he came to this village in San Pendido, forced some of these villagers to dig a huge pit where he buried 200 million US dollars in barrels. But he ordered for the murder of these villagers and buried them along with his cash to keep this location as a secret. By this act, he betrayed the trust he once had with the people of San Pendido. When Escobar was later convicted and killed, his empire crumbled and most of his men were hunted and executed as well. Commander Eric, who used to train soldiers for the late Escobar, was hunted likewise. During this struggle, his wife was killed, then he later managed to relocate from Colombia to the States with his little daughter Sandy Rose. Now it happened that Commander Eric was the only person alive to know the whereabouts of Escobar's buried fortune, but he wasn't interested in it because of too much blood and lost already. 35 years later, a notorious prince of crime based in Miami named Avi Haddad learned about this information and decided to hunt down Alec Ross in order to reveal the location of Escobar's fortune. But before Alec was captured, he made a phone call to his daughter Sandy, who later became a lawyer. He told her about two maps, of which the fake one is inside a painting, and he also disclosed the information about the real map to her. He further told her that anyone who comes looking for a painting is definitely the person who killed him. He was then captured, tortured before he told them the location of the fake map before he was killed. Avi's men searched him and discovered the photos of him and his daughter Sandy. That was how Avi Haddad came to know about Sandy Ross. In order to make things easier for him, he decided to hire Sandy as his lawyer so that he can get closer to her and access her painting. So Sandy Ross automatically became Avi's lawyer and even helped him to win a court case against him. That night, he came over to her place as a guest, and during the night hours, he saw this painting, searched through it, and took the fake map with him. Shortly after, one of Avi's men invented Sandy House in search of the same map, but he did not succeed because Avi himself killed him in front of Sandy for double crossing. At this point, Sandy had already discovered that it was her new boss, Avi, that killed her father. Then Avi begged Sandy to travel with him to Colombia now that she has witnessed this murder that she is no longer safe. Sandy willingly accepted the offer because to her this was the perfect opportunity to get this money and at the same time avenge the death of her father without Avi knowing or having any idea that Sandy knows everything. And it's good to know that this fake map leads to a field mine where no one can survive from it, despite it was not too far from the real location of Escobar's buried fortune. Then Avi and Sandy traveled to Colombia, and on their arrival, they teamed up with Avi's younger brother Isaac, who has already hired a team of elite soldiers and some trusted friends who know a lot about the jungle. They also hired a rabbi who initially refused but later accepted after he found out that this was Avi's mission, of which him and Avi used to be best of friends in their childhood days. Then Isaac, the younger brother of Ivy, was tasked to pay off a prominent individual in that community named Colonel Calderon, who happens to be in charge of every military activities in that region. But unfortunately for them, this colonel also wanted this money all for himself. In fact, him and his soldiers have been searching for this fortune over a decade. But sadly, the colonel refused the bribe and believes that Avi and his crew must have known the location of this money. Now the colonel began hunting for them. Though when the bribe failed, Isaac begged his brother Ivory to abort this mission, but Ivory refused, claiming that it was too late for that. So Ivory and his group had to bring another plan in kidnapping the son of Colonel Calderon and use it to capture him, in order for his men to back off. But unfortunately, this also backfired because Colonel Calderon managed to escape from this captivity and killed some of Ivory's crew in the process. During this mission, a man named Santiago, who was hired as a tracker in using the map to lead them to the destination through the jungle. It happens that this guy, Santiago, was a childhood friend of Sandy before her father Eric took her to the United States. Over time, Abby started having affection for Sandy, despite Isaac warned him about her that he saw her as a problem, but Ivy doesn't listen. Not long later, they got attacked from some of Colonel Calderon's men, though Abby and his crew were able to overpower them to continue their hunt. So when they were so close to the location, Sandy pretended to be sick and she asked Ivy to go on without her. Also, Santiago voluntarily requested to stay back to look after Sandy. Ivy agreed, but with the condition that Isaac will also stay back with them, while him and the rest will go and get the money. Once Ivy and the rest left, Santiago and Sandy planned and killed Isaac, after which they both changed their direction using the real map and they got the money, while on the other hand, Ivy and the remaining crew reached the fake location to discover that they have been deceived. The rabbi immediately left that location before Colonel Calderon and his remaining soldiers arrived at the same location. When Ivory saw that it was a dead end for him and there was no escape, then he activated one of the mines in the field, causing the entire location to be exploded, and everyone there was blown to pieces and they all died. Finally, when the money was out, Sandy took some part of it and left the rest for Santiago to distribute among the villagers as a token for what Escobar did against them and their families in the past. Then a barrel of this money was sent to the rabbi, but he rather burnt it with fire. I guess so much blood involved in it was too much. After the detailed breakdown of this movie, I took some important lessons in this movie, but on how we do it here, I will share one key lesson while you guys should drop the rest down in the comment section. So my takeaway lesson for this movie, the EscoBank of 2025 is, for every act of betrayal, there must have been an atom of trust existing before the other party can take advantage of it to harm the other. Betrayal being the dark side of trust, it can only exist when trust exists. In this movie, Pablo Escobar was able to betray the people of San Pedro because trust once existed between them. If the villagers never trusted him in the first place, they would never have given him a chance at all in using them. And also, Sandy Rose, who later became a weak spot to Avi, she saw that as an opportunity which she capitalized in destroying him. If Avi Haddad has never trusted Sandy, just like his brother Isaac didn't, he would have let her stay back, and at this point, she would have had the opportunity to carry out her plans. So comes to the lesson of this movie, since betrayal is the dark side of trust and they both coexist together, we should always be careful of who we give out our trust to. Then finally, to the rating of this movie, the movie EscoBank was based on true life story, despite there might be some little addition to it, but with no doubt, this movie is cool, engaging and educative. It reveals a lot of secrets to us in many aspects of life, and moreover, this movie is action and entertaining. So based on this, I'm rating this movie 8 over 10, and all I can say is that this movie deserves a lot of exposure because it is so good. Therefore, I encourage anyone who hasn't seen this movie, please go take a look at this movie, and I bet you will definitely love it as I did. Thank you all for coming to the end of this content. I'm so happy that we have talked about this movie, the EscoBank, and I've given you every detailed breakdown about this movie. I've given you the lessons and also the rating, and I'm so happy that if you're still watching, it means that you have watched us to the end of this content, and that is so cool. So guys, that will be it for today's content, and I can't wait to see you in our next movies podcast. by next week. So wherever you are, be safe, take care of yourself, have a wonderful day. See you next week. Bye.